Good day! Truth Detective is here to give you and to tell you about relational and relationship abstraction. It's about much more than art. I'm going to explain abstraction for you. And I'm going to draw some connections and dots to the world of no art. The human being has a shape. You see my shape over here. I'm not a circle. But in your mind, you could create an abstraction. It could be a circle, and this circle could represent me as a person. You could attach many different strings of information to this person to profile this individual circle. There's a lot of information attached to this person. The law is very much related to abstracting and abstraction. Abstract art is about the levels of abstraction that we wouldn't see if we tried to understand something through our mind out there in the real world. Abstract art can be about expressing, for example, a human emotion that is very hard to represent in any other way. The question over here is that why would somebody create abstract art? And why are abstractions easier for other people to understand for others? And also the question, why were the elites, at least in the art history, if you don't know this, it was the elites mostly that were really interested in abstract art and valued it very high. A mind that wants to abstract, for example, a relationship, cannot understand the relationship as it plays out in the real world. Thing. You can just draw two circles and attach some strings of information, and if these informations kind of match to each other, then you can say that yeah, this is a great relationship. These people are going to be great together. For example, if we wanted to create an AI generated type of a relationship tool that would kind of find you the best partner in the world, then it would have to be created to abstracting. The mind that can understand abstraction most likely cannot understand a more human type of in the world relationship between two things. When I have my two hands over here, you see that they are in relation to each other. You can no longer see the real thing. You can see the shadows of my hands. If you think about it, I can place my hands in any kind of way on this screen, like a scale, like this. We neglect all the other stuff in the world and just look at these, for example, two circles, two triangles, two squares. I love abstract art because there's no objects in it. What I have understood from fashion is that when you combine abstract art with fashion, you start to represent, you start to point with the colors, you start to point to real things, make the person understand how the real works through the abstraction. Abstracting is highly in the level of trying. Activity done here in the brain. We go into the realm of marketing over here. And a group of people could be a circle. It could be any shape. when we have a shape, something has to keep that in shape in place so it doesn't just everywhere. If you have ever been sick and you get this, gunk that you spit out, just you have noticed probably that the gunk, it stays together. It keeps its shape. It doesn't just, everywhere. And you could abstract that, blegum. You could abstract it into something like a star shape. If we human beings make a pact or an agreement upon what this abstract shape, for example, a letter, means, then we go in from the realm of the actuality into the realm of the idea, and we make those two so inseparably indistinguishable from each other that we can no longer even understand the difference between the actual and the symbolical reality. The curing of cancer, they use these chemotherapy, and these chemotherapy chemicals, they attack all the cells, even cells that are not cancer cells. It doesn't abstract to the level that here we have the cancer cell and here we have the good cell, and it just attacks everything. For example, warfare, if we have a missile, we might destroy the part of a town that has, or one building, but not the whole fucking town, or not the whole fucking city, you have to understand. In abstraction, that is actually related to so many fucking things out there. Abstraction has to be a bit bigger, and its shape, it has to be bigger, and it has to be able to include the actual in itself. The mafia is also a kind of an abstraction. There are so many relationships out there, different kinds. For example, a teacher and a pupil, a master and the slave was in the past, a coach and an athlete, a husband and the wife. One of the most interesting relationships also is a dealer and an addict. Think about this, we have a really hardcore surveillance state. Then even the sexual relations between human beings could be surveilled, and they could be abstracted into a database where we could tell that this guy is fucking around with this girl and this girl is fucking around with these two guys. When they were hunter-gatherers, the gatherer were most likely to be those people that were keen on abstracting. The elites then appreciated abstract art. I believe it was because the elites have to abstract because the real actual world is so complex. They have to be able to abstract the masses in some way. Probably appreciated abstraction because of that. The Hitler's kind of idea behind the whole Nazi regime and the final solution, it was about abstracting a group of people. Jews define themselves as the Jews. But the question over here is that also abstracting? And for example, Mark Rothko, that was an abstract painter in the 1960s New York, he was a Jew. So not all people are capable of abstracting. Everybody that can in any way work or operate in a civilized society has to agree upon abstractions. You wouldn't be able to communicate or anything with anyone else if you weren't able to agree on certain abstractions, for example the language. There's that inkling of possibility that the whole world could understand this. But in a sense, abstraction is also a language in itself. For example, when I talk to you in English over here, you have to understand that there's so many people that won't understand the fuck what I'm talking about, even though it might be the greatest thing ever. So I hope that this Video got your gears running in your brain? Thanks for watching.